Hello and welcome back to another episode of the Bodcast. We are now on to episode 59, despite the fact that Carrie didn't believe me on that. And so,
Never believe you.
Never. Shocking. So, I'm here and Carrie is here.
Am I?
No.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So we thought we would talk about live streams, and specifically Lego live streams.
Because, we're a Lego channel.
Yeah, we could talk about other types of live streams, but that would be weird.
We're also not experts on that.
No.
Are we experts on Lego live streams?
Of course we are.
There's the specific Lego build stream that a lot of people do.
Yeah.
But we try not to do just that on our live streams.
That's true.
We kind of feel like that's not that much fun. Is it fun?
I don't know. I think it depends a lot.
It's a very good opportunity to build. If you're part of like a family with young kids and you don't get much time, but you put aside time to live stream, it means you get a chance to build on a regular basis, which is good, especially if you've got a big backlog. But I'm still not 100% convinced whether building a Lego set on a live stream is the same experience as building a Lego set off a live stream, whether they're comparable or not.
I guess it depends on whether you're feeling pressured to finish the build, like whether you're worried that you're taking too long, stuff like that.
Yeah, there's also the fact that you're trying to interact with people, and therefore you're maybe just mindlessly following the instructions and not enjoying the steps. Do you ever find that with our live streams? Like when you're building on a live stream?
I don't know. I'm trying to think if that's just how I build anyway.
I haven't built for a long time without it being a live stream. So I've kind of forgotten what the process was like. And for me, building used to be about getting away from it all. And I feel like you can't do that on a live stream. Because, I mean, you're pretty much on. You have to be on. You can't just switch off and get on with it. Because you're being sociable. You're just... Yeah. That's that. And that is like one of our main forms of socialising these days is live streams. Yeah. So it definitely feels different, but then I can't remember why it feels different because I haven't built for so long without being on a live stream. Yeah. I don't think it's unenjoyable. Like no. I'm not saying I wish I wasn't doing it. I think the thing that I struggle with a lot is why people watch that. So, and I think it's possibly that they're not watching that, are they? Because we watch a lot of live streams and never am I really paying attention to what they're building. I like to know what they're building. Yeah. So I can talk about the set with them. Yes. But I'm never actually...
You're not watching them put the bricks on.
No. And, yeah, I don't even think I care to see the finished article because, you know what I'm like, I hate seeing spoilers of sets that I want to build myself. Right. So maybe if it's something that I wouldn't be building, I might say, oh, I'd quite like to see that. Yeah. But yeah, people are watching us. Why are they watching us? Is it because they really like the set or not? And
I think most of the time it's because of the chat.
Well, I think so too. But then when you look at the replay stats and the number of people who will watch a live stream after the fact, certainly if it's a newer set, people will sit and watch that as if it's maybe like a review, which it isn't. It's completely different.
No, well, you're commenting on it as you go, so it is a review.
Yeah, but it's a lot of investment for a review. You
can watch it at double speed, it'll be fine. Yeah. But I think Lego live streams is a particular issue that you have with them is that, as we say, the build streams are kind of a common thing for people to do.
Well, because that's how you can incorporate Lego into it. If you're trying to show your love of Lego, how else do you kind of do it?
But as we say, first, just watching someone build isn't all that interesting.
No.
But for people starting out, it's difficult for them to have a constant dialogue with chat if there aren't people there watching. And so then all they are doing is building. And so
So it gives you something to do if you have a lower audience.
Well, no, it's more... It's hard to actually get into because you need to build up that following before the streams kind of become enjoyable in some ways.
Unless you see it as, I'm going to build this set anyway.
Yeah.
So I may as well turn on the camera and see if there's anyone to chat to. And if not, I get that non-live stream experience of building kind of thing. So that's how maybe that's how it starts out. Like I'm at a loose end, I want to build a Lego set, I want to stream it at the same time kind of thing. That's maybe how that starts off. I like the more interactive streams, the things that are a little bit more fun. Yeah. So like we do tier list streams, and I think
which is no way controversial.
No, in no way controversial. But I think they're one of my favourite things because you're suddenly instead of just watching someone build Lego, you're getting other people's opinions. And whilst we don't always listen to those opinions, specifically in our tier list streams, and in fact, sometimes you'd like outright just tell them they're wrong, which
people sometimes need to hear that.
I like hearing other people's opinions. I like the discussion.
Yes.
And it amuses me when people feel so strongly about something that I feel differently about. And I don't know, the arguments you can have over a piece of plastic, essentially, it makes me giggle. But it is fun. It's really fun. And going forward, having all of those tier lists, I think it's a nice thing to kind of look back on and go, right, this is what I thought. Now I've got this new set. Where does it go?
Yeah.
That's kind of why the direction that I want to take it is reminding myself how I feel about things, and then that was my favourite. Is it still my favourite now this new thing's come in? Having that easier benchmark, because I'm getting quite forgetful in my old age.
Are you?
And I can't remember what I liked more before.
Why does it matter?
Because I like to know what I think.
But it's what you thought, it's not what you think.
But it's a good reminder if that's what I thought. Oh, I still think that, but now there's this new stuff, so I can switch it around.
But what you think now is what you think now, regardless of what you thought then.
No, blow my mind. Very confused. What I think now is what I think now.
Yeah.
And what I thought then was what I thought then.
Yeah, they're two completely separate things.
But they're both my opinion, so it's nice.
One was your opinion, one is now your opinion.
What if I've just forgotten it was my opinion?
Then it's not your opinion.
What if there's literally no opinion until I remind myself what my opinion was?
Then it's not a very strong opinion, is it?
I don't really have very strong opinions.
Do you not?
Yeah, I do. No, I don't. Yeah, I don't think I do. I like what I like in the moment. I don't know. But tier lists, are fun.
Yes.
And on 72-hour live stream, we saw someone else doing a tier list. A couple of Brickheads did one.
Yeah.
And was it the same? Did they actually listen to the audience?
They did. They listened to the audience more than we did, I feel.
So where's the value in them doing it as opposed to, if you're going to listen to the audience?
Well, no, they
whose
still
list
use
is
their
it?
opinion.
Okay.
So, they put set straight into S, which I disagreed with.
As in, you don't think we should put it straight into S without checking with people, or you're saying...
No, they put ones into S that I didn't think should have been in S. Okay. Yeah.
Because we do that on our tier list as well. We go, right, we know about this one. Straight up.
Yes.
Okay. I think I let the chat sway me a lot more than you do.
Probably.
On tier list. What other kind of Lego live streams can you do?
So you've got more of the panel ones. So obviously London Calling.
Yeah.
Which, yes, when we're on there we'll be building, but it's not a build stream.
Yeah, we're not there to... you can't even see our hands either, so...
Yeah.
It's just we're building at the same time.
And then building on from that, you've got Good Morning Brickworld, which slightly different, but a similar idea. You've got a panel on, you're talking about
They
stuff.
seem to theme it a bit more than London Calling.
London Calling has had a couple of themed ones.
And that's quite a nice one because you're essentially just talking about the world of Lego from that week.
Yeah.
And then upcoming things. It's kind of like this podcast, but with a whole panel of guests, so you can all ask, and sometimes it just goes crazy, which is always fun.
Yeah, I mean, annoyingly, Good Morning Brickworld is on at the most awkward time for us, so we don't get to watch much.
I guess that's the point of live streams, is that someone's always live streaming, and you can watch something. We just you can't watch everything, or at least we specifically can't, because we have kids, we've got lives, we've got stuff to do, unfortunately. So the panel ones, but then the one that I enjoyed most from the 72-hour live stream, and it possibly was because of the way it turned out, was the mocking one. So the Wheel of Mock tune, Wheel of Mock tune, Cabbage Face Bricks.
Yeah.
And yes, that's because they managed to get body parts, and
Yeah, it all went.
It was not PG.
Amazingly funny.
Yeah. But that is fun for the people involved, or at least it seemed like it might be fun. And it's also fun for the people watching, and it's different every time. There's no real prep in advance kind of thing. You're not going to practice all your mock techniques. You might in your spare time, but you're just seeing what happens. That's kind of like impromptu fun.
Yeah. And obviously last year you also had Solo doing
Are You Mocking Me?
So those kind of game show style streams are fun.
Is that an every week kind of stream though?
I don't know.
Does it get boring after a while, or I don't know?
I suppose it depends. Obviously, if the topics are the same, then it's going to get a bit repetitive that way. But you can keep in with different guests coming in.
Yeah, different guests. And Are You Mocking Me? It was specifically what can you make from this set.
Yeah.
So if you always switch up the set.
Yeah.
And I think it's quite good to encourage reuse of your sets. Right. Just to clarify, Ian is currently playing with a stud shooter, and if it goes off, he's in big trouble. This is left over from our live stream. Do not even think about it. Oh my God, Ian! Stop it! My eyes! I feel like PJ and Duncan. My eyes!
What was that?
I don't know, that was a terrible accent. Okay, I'm seriously confiscating this. This is not how we do podcasts, Ian.
It should be.
But they can't see it. Fine, whatever.
That's highly offensive what you did.
What's it?
I don't know. I'll have to ask Craig.
He's not from Newcastle.
No, but he supports them. So.
Does he?
Yeah, he's a Newcastle fan. Not a Biker Grove fan. He might be. I don't know.
Biker Grove. Yeah.
I feel we got distracted somewhat.
Well, that's your fault with the stud shooters. What were we talking about?
I don't know.
No, I don't remember either.
No one knows.
We also do, like, streams from our city.
Yeah.
Where we just are trying to get some city tasks that we need to do done.
Yeah.
And we hang out with people. So that one feels a lot harder to... A little bit more uncomfortable, I think is what I mean.
Okay.
Like, you kind of feel like you need to do something that's interesting to watch, even though that might not be what you need to do.
Right.
So you want to justify people spending 2 hours of their time with you, even though maybe they're just there because they want to hang out.
Yeah.
At what point do you just accept that you're just all hanging out and it's not you entertaining the people?
I don't know.
Is our job to entertain, or is our job to be part of that community? And is it a job? Is it just what we do to socialise?
Just what we do.
So what we do...
Yeah.
Our daughter watched our 72-hour live stream and she said to my mum, they said they were going to be working and they're just playing games. And now she doesn't believe that this is kind of what I deem as work.
Yeah.
Is that bad?
That's fine.
I want her to feel like it's important, though. Like, I want her to understand that it is important to us.
Yeah.
And it's not just us, like, being silly. And we put quite a lot of hard work into our 72-hour live streams each year.
Yes.
And so I do see them as work as such. We want them to be fun.
Yeah, but you can have fun at work.
That's true. Yeah. I remember having fun at work. That was the best part.
Yeah.
Not the work part.
No.
Yeah, work should be fun. Okay. So if you're just hanging out with people who share the same interests as you, do you think that you have to have something Lego based on your stream? Or can you literally just hang out and talk about the world?
I don't know. So if you look at Some Assembly Required...
Yeah.
That, for those people who haven't watched it, it's basically a call-in show where they propose 3 topics. You call in and you can talk about any of the topics, all of the topics. The first few episodes, they made sure that the third topic wasn't Lego related.
It was completely unrelated to Lego. And actually those were some interesting topics.
But they've now, more often now, all 3 are about Lego.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's just because you get a group of people together who all like Lego, we're all going to want to talk about Lego. Whereas, particularly when it's an international thing, are you all going to want to talk about the politics in your country?
No one ever wants to talk about politics. Let's never do politics.
Yeah. So, if everyone there likes Lego, it makes sense to talk about Lego because that's what everyone's going to have an opinion on.
But what if you just don't feel like making Lego that week, but you do want to hang out with those people?
Then still...
Could you just sit about and draw a picture? Or...
Yes.
But it doesn't have to be a Lego picture.
No.
Can you play, like, a board game?
You can do what you want, but whether the chat will interact with it as much will depend on what they're there for.
It's a risk to take if you suddenly feel like doing something different.
We've done jigsaw puzzles, which
didn't go down well.
No, those were Lego themed jigsaw puzzles,
Yeah.
and it still didn't go down well. So
I think part of me thinks that the choice of jigsaw puzzle was bad, like because it was way too hard. But also our setup needed to be more so that people could help with the jigsaw puzzle. So like, you could look from above and go, oh, I can see a bit there that goes there.
that wouldn't work.
No, you don't think that would
The
work.
lag between chat and you reading it.
You would have moved all the pieces about.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. It's just, I quite like the idea of keeping it fresh. Not just for the audience, but for me. Like, if I do this every week, and I enjoy doing it, but at some point, will it get boring? Will it get stale?
I don't know.
There's always going to be new Lego sets.
Yep.
But is it worth... Or is there something else we can do? I don't know. And I guess finding that your audience's other interests and using that, but you kind of need to make things gel with your channel.
Your audience aren't going to all have the same interest.
No.
I mean, obviously, if, there's a lot of Star Wars Lego, so a lot of the audience will like Star Wars.
Yeah.
Marvel, again, it's a really big thing in Lego, and so a lot of the audience will like that. But even then, those are two topics that we aren't particularly bothered about.
No. We don't like the Star Wars, and we're not bothered about the Marvel. I mean, are people tuning in for us?
Mainly for me.
Mainly for you?
Yeah.
It's okay.
It's the beard.
It's not the beard.
It is the beard.
It's the beard.
Yeah, it's the beard.
So if you had no beard, no one would ever turn up to our live streams.
Quite possibly. That's why it must stay.
It needs a trim. How do you feel about competitions, like between the two of us on live streams? Do you feel that would be a fun thing to do?
So our very first live stream was a competition.
It was, yeah.
And yeah, you're very competitive.
It doesn't lead to very interactive with the chat. More just me shouting at you and stealing pieces. No, I would never steal pieces. That's not something I do.
I think Monarch can disagree with that.
Yeah, I think Monarch definitely would disagree with that. But he'd be wrong. There's no proof. What about salt streams? I find salt streams... I really love salting Lego. I kind of find that quite therapeutic. And it seems like something that you could do whilst chatting to people. But I feel like it's something that is harder to do because of the microphone. Like, if I'm sorting through Lego, is that not going to annoy everyone that's wearing headphones?
I don't know. We've done a couple of sort streams. We only did those on Twitch.
Yeah,
we?
we did. Yeah, we did one. I think only one.
Thought we did a couple.
No, just one. It's just about looking around your Lego room and thinking, "Hang on, there's a million sets in here, and they're not going anywhere, and I just keep building more.
Yeah.
What can I do that is interesting and entertaining?" And that's the thing. I still see our live stream as a form of entertainment for other people. And from the 72-hour live stream that we've just watched, a lot of them seemed more hanging out with your friends on stream as opposed to entertaining your audience.
Yeah.
So you'd get several different streams, but they all look the same because they'd all jump onto each other.
It's the same group of people, just
and they're just hanging out.
Different host, yes.
And the conversation is interesting to watch and listen to, or not watch, listen to, but it's very samey, and it does seem very much like their sole objective is to hang out and have fun.
Yes.
Which seems different to what we want to hang out and have fun with our audience.
Yeah.
So it's...
Yeah. And then you've got, as I said, London Calling and stuff where it's a mix of the two. It's a group of people hanging out and having fun, but there's an awful lot of still including the audience.
Yeah. I guess maybe it grows from how big your audience is. If you've got enough of an audience to maintain a conversation with, then that becomes your focus because that is more enjoyable for you. It's about doing what you find enjoyable. I guess that's the point. I enjoy talking to other people. We don't have other people on our streams, so we interact with them via the chat.
Yep.
But if we had one person on our stream with us, would we then ignore the chat because we're then chatting to that person? That is always my worry. Like, people say, "Oh, you should get guests on," but then where do you focus your attention? How do you make it interesting for everyone? I'm a people pleaser, in case you haven't noticed. So I don't really want someone to be in my stream and feel ignored or not part of the jokes and things. I don't know. We do have quite a lot of in-jokes now.
We do.
But we'll always explain them to people if they want to know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So then there's it's a weird kind of community that you get from the live streams, don't you? Where
Weird how.
There's a lot of, there are certain people who we hang out with in their live streams, they're in ours kind of thing, and you get a lot of kind of in-jokes between that group.
Yeah.
But then occasionally it'll branch out into something different, and so you then have this weird mismatch going on of different communities interacting. And I think particularly with the 72-hour community stream, because you're bouncing around all over the place.
Yeah.
So sometimes you'll be seeing a stream where you have no idea who any of the people are.
So they'll have their in-jokes as well that you won't understand. It's all about these cliques, isn't it? Cliques forming, and is it a good thing? Is it a bad thing? But I think it's a natural thing that will happen.
Yeah.
I mean, this is one of the things that Buttchop says. Buttchop's responsible for the 72-hour live stream. Yay for Buttchop. That didn't sound sincere.
That sounded weird, that did.
Yay for Buttchop. And he was sort of saying that you can get stuck in your own little community or group and never find anything new. And that's kind of the point of the 72-hour live stream.
Yeah.
And so you have to go in it with we're going to go to them even though we don't know. We're not just here to support our friends. We're here to look and see if there's other things. And you find new things and they're interesting. I think the worry I have is finding too many new things and not having the capacity for them. Like you subscribe to them all and then you're like, there's just live streams constantly. Yeah. And then you get overwhelmed. So it's a balance.
We see some people who take part in the 72-hour live stream who do very little outside of that.
Yeah.
But I think some of the best ones that I saw were, I'm trying to think, I can't think of names, but I subscribed to them and it was a build stream, but they're mainly talking about them. They're introducing themselves to the community.
Right.
Which, considering, they had in the low hundreds subscribers-wise, so they knew that a lot of the people who are watching probably wouldn't know who they are. Yeah. And I know on those really good streams to watch, because you work out whether you want to subscribe to them or not, and it's an introduction.
Yeah, and it's not just about whether you want to see their live streams, but do they provide content, like, do they have a really good city you'd like to follow along? Do they do mocks that could inspire you? Yeah. So you're not looking just for the live stream capabilities, because they're two very different things, the video creation and the live streaming. And you want both kinds of content. Yeah. So, or most people would. Yeah, I think there's always a benefit in looking for new things. I think there's always a benefit in trying new things on your stream and seeing what sticks.
I find it interesting that outside of the 72-hour live stream, I don't really find a way to find out about Lego live streamers on YouTube.
I think
they don't show up in my feed at all unless I'm subscribed to the person.
So you can look, if you put into YouTube Lego live stream now, like that's one of the tags that I put into my live streams. Right. And I think quite a lot of people do. You'll find them, like just randomly. There's normally something going on and you should just find a random one. Yeah.
But it's not like Twitch where it's very much a case of you watch one and then they can raid a different one, and so you get that organically going on. Doing that in YouTube requires something like the 72-hour live stream, which is a lot of organisation. It doesn't help.
I mean, YouTube is bringing the raid capability slowly. I mean,
are they?
I think this is the thing. From what I've read, I think it's that you have to allow someone to push to your channel, which is kind of the wrong way to do it. You kind of want people to go, I'm going to push my audience there. Yeah. Like, why would you have to go and ask that person first? Like, that seems like an odd thing.
So the thing that Twitch does have a problem with is bots. So you can build up a whole bunch of bots running in a stream and then raid another stream with all of those bots, essentially. Right. And, that's been shown to be quite bad. So maybe it's to try and tackle that. Maybe it's just a privacy thing that Twitch has always had, that you can do it. Yeah. So therefore they've not had to worry about suddenly adding in this new capability.
I think it's also that you have to know where you're going before you start the stream. So when you set up your stream, you give it the link to the next live stream. There's that ability. I think it's only if you've got if you're in the partner program at the moment. So I can't see the settings.
Right. Okay.
But that's from the help that I've read. I think that's the option.
That seems weird because you don't necessarily live stream for a known amount of time.
Yeah. So it works better on like Twitch, where they have like the raid train. So they have a segment each week. They know this is thing, and that's why the 72-hour live stream works, because we've all been given our segments.
Yes.
But people, you do find that harder because you're like, I'm halfway through a tier list and I've got to finish in like 10 minutes, or I've finished my tier list and I've still got 10 minutes to fill. Like it requires a lot more prep.
Yes.
You can't just go, right, we're done now, guys, bye. Yeah. So yeah.
There were also, I mean, we did it. We passed over to London Calling before they'd actually started. You had a couple of other times I saw where they moved over, and it actually took a little while for that stream to get going.
But then I don't see the downside of that, really, because people need to go to the loo and things and get a drink and stuff. Like, we're saying we're going to do 72 hours of Lego content, and it's pretty much 72 hours of Lego. I mean, it was more.
Definitely more than 72.
Started Wednesday, didn't it, or something. So it's just having... You don't need to bounce from one to the other.
Yes.
I don't think that's a solution.
But I think in some cases, the live stream that it went to hadn't yet been created.
Yeah.
So if you had to, before your stream started, say what the next one was going to be,
that wouldn't work.
It wouldn't happen.
Yeah. I mean, once again, we had a really fun time on the 72-hour live stream, and it got us to do things that we don't normally do, that we always like do games and things for special streams, mainly because it's just a lot of work to do all the time.
Yeah.
But it's fun. People enjoy it. Sometimes it's a little bit crazy, but that's the point, right?
Yeah.
You've got to try and push yourself, and I think we do that in live streams more than we maybe do with videos. Like we push the content we create in live streams.
Yes. Yeah.
Because it's a quick way to try something new and get instant feedback, whereas a video
videos take a lot longer.
You think, did that gel? And you don't know for sure, and you then have to do it several times, and then if it hasn't gone well, you're like, oh, that's 3 videos I've wasted, kind of thing. Yeah. So it's kind of more frustrating, and plus you get into the sort of groove of doing a video a certain way. You certainly if you're a YouTuber who batch processes things, then changing your process is quite costly. So I think live streams are like the playground essentially, and it's all good fun. Yeah. Anything else you got to say about live streams?
I think that's plenty on live streams.
Yeah, I think so too. Okay, so if you're a Lego live streamer and we are not in your streams, reach out to us. Let us know. We'll come and watch some streams. Always interested in seeing more. If you don't watch our live streams, come and check them out. They're good fun. We have faces and everything. It's not just a voice and hands.
Faces and hands.
Yeah. Ooh. Well, sometimes we have multiple cameras. You know.
We do.
Yeah. If you want to listen to any of our other podcasts, then I'll link up our podcast playlist now, either in the show notes or the description, or a nice little button at the end. And we'll be back.
Button at the end,
yeah. Wow. And just one last thing. You meant to say ow and make a big deal about me just like completely getting you with a stud shooter.
It's a stud shooter.
Wait, okay, I didn't go for your face like you did, so...
Well, you wear glasses, it's fine.
It's not. They're never up on my eyes. They always fall down because they're really old glasses. It was very dangerous, and it's totally against the regulations that they give you in the book. Now, okay, behave. Right, well, catch you next week. We're just fighting, honest. No one's getting hurt here. There's nothing to worry about. Bye.
Bye.
Oi.